So this is actually quite good. So this is recording live to YouTube. And I just had the thought, maybe 3:30 in the afternoon is not a great time for people to sit and listen, because it's actually the middle of the day. Of course, it's different times in lots of different places in the world, but even just for Irish time and Portugal time, it's 3:30 in the day and many people are busy. But now that it's live on YouTube, it'll be on YouTube. So you could just technically, if you wanted some guidance to some accompaniment in your meditation, it's here anytime, day or night. So Isolt, that's the friend I was talking about. So hi Isolt. We haven't started yet, just about to start. So this is recording and it's actually recording straight to YouTube. So if you don't want your image or anything, you can just keep your camera off. And also, if you feel like speaking afterwards, I can always pause the recording if you don't want to be recorded, or I can just stop it. It's fine. So I just invite you to make yourself comfortable. So if you need to just adjust the way you're sitting and just prepare a comfortable place so you don't need to keep moving too much, although it's totally fine if you need or want to move. And I just invite you don't necessarily have to close your eyes, but I find that it's usually easier to just be with yourself and allow your attention to come more inwards if you close your eyes. So whatever I say is just an invitation or a guidance. And if something doesn't feel right or you don't feel like following that guidance, that's totally fine. And most important is that you listen to your own guidance first. So I just invite you to close your eyes and allow your awareness to come to your body. And just the sense of your body sitting on whatever it's sitting on. Just notice your feet touching the ground, your legs, your torso, your shoulders, your arms and hands, and your face and head. And you're just simply noticing. Whatever you're noticing is welcome and allowed. And you might just notice your breath. Bring attention to your breathing and allow it to be as it is. And some kind of label might come for anything that you notice. So just acknowledge and notice the label and also let it go. There's no need to try to change any of your experiences. We're just meeting our experiences and perceptions as they are. And allow your attention to come inwards more into your throat and your chest and your belly. Simply just noticing whatever is here. There's no need to make any effort. Just effortlessly noticing what's here. Or even not noticing, but just effortlessly you're present. There's nothing wrong with your experience or what's appearing right now. It just is as it is. If you need to allow your body to move or wiggle or shake, you can just allow it to do that. And just for a few minutes, we're just going to be here without making any effort at all. Almost as if you're just going to sleep. Yet remaining conscious. So there might be something present that wants your awareness. And if there is, you can just allow your attention to be with whatever wants it, whatever wants your attention. But there's no need to do anything about what's appearing, just effortlessly noticing. Your experience is as it is. There's nothing that needs to change. And there may be something that wants it to change. And that's just effortlessly noticed also. So just listening to the different parts of us that come and go, and remaining in our effortless being. There's no intention that anything needs to happen. This is just an opportunity to slow down and be with what is. An opportunity to rest. And nothing needs to be done now. Allow your breath to deepen. And allow your body to move if it wants to. Effortlessly listening and being attentive to what's here in your perception. No need to discover anything. No need to know anything. No need to understand anything. Just for this time that we're together. remaining open to the most subtle senses inside yourself. Effortlessly listening to what's here. And inherent in the effortlessness is no resistance. Perceiving or listening is just happening by itself. Thoughts are allowed to come and go. Sensations are allowed to come and go. And if it happens that we give a lot of attention to a thought or sensation, we can just remind ourselves that just effortlessly we're perceiving, just effortlessly listening and noticing. And this just creates some space or makes us more aware of space around whatever is appearing. And again, nothing is meant to happen or change. You're not meant to discover anything. This is just an opportunity to be with yourself as you are. to be present for what's appearing. And to allow life to flow through you as it does. Maybe becoming more and more aware of the effortlessness of just being, the effortlessness of receiving or listening, and the effortlessness of being present for yourself. Just noticing your breath and noticing the sense of your body on what it's sitting on. And effortlessly noticing the sense of your body, your arms, your hands, your face, your legs, your feet. And as you're ready to open your eyes, just effortlessly noticing whatever you see. You don't need effort to see it, it just is effortlessly noticed. So if you feel like making any comments or sharing anything about the experience or anything that you feel like sharing, really, you're welcome to. I'd be happy to hear your voice. And if you want to share but you don't want to be on the recording, then you can just write it in the chat and I'll pause the recording. And it's also fine to stay completely quiet. So
Well, the thought that's coming to mind is that was easy.
yeah. Hmm. It's funny, isn't it? It's easy. But then, of course, like life can seem so hard sometimes, like with the different challenges and feelings and all that arise inside us. But I think we often have the idea that we have to do something about it. And I remember reading in A Course in Miracles, there was something in A Course in Miracles and it said, I need do nothing. And it just struck me like so much. I felt like, oh my God, it's so good. I used to have a small little chalkboard in my house. And when I came to that lesson, I don't know what number it was, just 365 lessons. I came to that and I felt like it just felt like such a relief. I'm like, yeah, I like this one. This is good. I need do nothing. And that, you know, it just brings such a sense of relief here. And it's not like just a blind belief. Like I also see that it's true. Like there's nothing we really need to do. We don't, sometimes we feel like we need to solve, like if you feel hurt or if you feel some pain, it feels like something needs to be done about it. So of course, I know we all know that sense of like, I need to get rid of it or something. But the thing is, we all come to see that it actually doesn't work. And I think something in us, before we can accept maybe that I need do nothing, maybe something needs to accept that all the effort that we make doesn't work. And sometimes it might seem to work like temporarily, like we have some problem and then we make all this effort and something changes or but then something else will come and it'll probably just it's often the same thing in another form or something. So really it didn't work. It was like putting a plaster on it, you know, or something, but then the plaster gets ripped off again. So I suppose it's just through seeing that actually all the efforts we make don't lead to peace and they don't really lead to even healing, really, then we can more easily accept I need to do nothing. And it's not just a blind acceptance or like a blind faith or something. It's like you actually kind of somehow realize, yeah, I don't need to do anything. And especially in that way of looking, I think like that effortlessness, in the more we rest into that effortlessness, we're noticing that it's just here. And in effortlessness is peace because there's no effort there. It's peace. And then as we notice it more and more, it seems to sink into our bodily sense as well. So we can feel the peace of the effortlessness that's always here more and more and more, the more we choose to recognize that it's actually always here. Like even when we're making effort, the effortlessness is also here. So it's maybe just the choice to recognize that more. Yeah.
There were some inklings of being the space in which it's all occurring, like
Yeah.
being really, really quiet. Oh, that was a thought. Oh, yeah, okay, well, that's gone now. And the
Mm,
just noticing. Is,
yeah.
Thanks, Amba.
Hey.
And my apology for coming late again.
No problem. You're
Um,
actually just perfectly on time.
yeah, so for me, it still felt late because I intended to be here for it, but I got home later than I needed to, and so there was a lot of agitation in my system
Mm,
during it, and I think I just felt like speaking just to participate, you know, just as the other person and not to just be, you know,
Yeah.
silent. Although that would be fine if it's what I preferred. But yeah, I suppose you know, as you're speaking there, you know, I think, you know, my thoughts in response to what you were saying, and even during the meditation, there's a kind of an arguing a bit with what you're saying in my mind, and I just like to kind of air that. And actually, I don't know why I'm quite happy to be recorded. Actually, I don't mind if you want to put it on recording. It's okay. I think it's just my.
Okay, can I play?
Yeah, you can if you like. Yeah. So my thoughts during that were, you know, at the moment I'm or these days, like I'm experiencing a lot of sort of I don't know whether to, like, discomfort in my body at times, a lot of energetic sort of, I don't know if it's energy, I mean, yeah, it could be called energetic sort of discomfort, a lot of sort of changeability, and just it's like there's a lot arising very easily that gets stirred up very easily. And I'm using like I'm doing a lot of energetic practices to help sort of come back to a more grounded place, which is a more enjoyable place to be. And so I found, you know, even coming to this, you know, I was in two minds, you know, because I knew I was rushing into it. I was kind of thinking, you know, is that what I need right now? Is it beneficial? But I decided, you know, and also, would it be better for me to do some of those practices at this time? But I was thinking, or I just decided, you know, just to try something else, try just being with, you know, what is there. And but yeah, just in response to what you were saying, like my mind on an intellectual level, you know, but that's just an egoic thing of, you know, wanting to agree, you know, some parts sort of would like to. Sorry, I'm not being very clear.
No, you are. I understand what you're saying. You're saying like the mind just has arguments against what I'm saying. And maybe it's not just the mind, you know. So
the argument is that if I have ways and techniques that to kind of bring more myself to a place of more calm, that allows that spaciousness to be felt, and it's like it brings more comfort into what my experience, and a more enjoyable experience of life.
Like, why not just do that?
Well, exactly. And I suppose that's the argument that I was having, you know, with you saying, you know, there's nothing at all needs to be done. And yet, like, intellectually, I can acknowledge what you're saying, that actually there is some part here always that is effortless. But sometimes it gets crowded out by the other stuff. And I suppose I kind of think, well, why not bring more ease, and then from that place then sit in the.
Can I say just the sense of what's here for that?
Yeah.
Of course, like, I think if there's something you can do to feel more peaceful, I think it's totally fine to do it, you know, obviously, like, it's only natural, but just like different times for different things. And I feel like this kind of thing is much like deeper. So once you just like, so if we're only looking for a peaceful canvas, you could say, if we're looking for that, and if we're getting it through, you know, let's say, I don't know why I'm being so poetic, but like if we're getting it through like techniques, so you're just painting over everything, you know, but there's always something else is always going to come to stir up that energy, like, because that's the nature of life. So it's okay, like we'll feel peace sometimes, but you can't, like, the way in satsang or something like Muji or Ananta or anybody might say something like, you can't hold on to it. Like, people are always asking in satsang, how can I hold on to this state and keep it? And you can't, so like when we're trying to create peace in our bodies, it's okay, but it's not going to stay necessarily unless we discover the foundation of it, and where it comes from. And I think even after, like, so let's say if you're noticing you're in your state of effortlessness, and then it's coming from there, like, okay, I want to do something to calm the system down, but it's just kind of more superficial or something. It's not like, it doesn't really matter. It's not like deeply disturbing you if things are stirred up a bit.
Sorry, could you say that again?
Like, when you notice your effortless nature and you were kind of more in touch with our effortless nature, then if our energetic system is unsettled, let's say, then it's not really going to cause us any deep disturbance. I can be sitting here doing a guided meditation, and even in my energetic system, all kinds of things can be happening. Like, sometimes it feels very, very peaceful and quiet, but sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes it feels like there could be like tension, tightness, or there could be like the energy could be kind of feeling like jittery, or it literally could be anything. And not just sitting here in meditation, any time in a day, like the energy's doing all different things. And it's not like right or wrong to do nothing, but like, I need to do nothing is more on a deeper level than I don't need to do anything, because we're not going to just sit around and suffer. Like, that wouldn't be natural, so I need do nothing means like that I can just let whatever happen. I don't have to use that like, it's not coming from that frantic energy. So if there's a franticness that wants to calm down, it's like the action isn't coming from there. So it's like, if I notice my effortlessness and there's, let's say I'm calling it frantic energy, if there's a frantic energy present, I need do nothing recognizes that I am the effortlessness, but yet maybe something wants to just take a few deep breaths.
Yeah.
I have to say though, I haven't got a long time for conversation. So usually I would have a bit longer, but I actually have to leave.
Oh, that's fine. Yeah.
So, I apologize about that. I apologize like that. I have to leave in like now, really.
Okay.
I said it at the start just before you came.
Yeah.
Okay. But I don't know if that is like satisfactory or not to your
Yeah, no,
mind.
I have a response to it also, but there isn't time for that, so it's okay.
Yeah.
I'm happy that I'm happy that I came for the experience, and I'm happy to hear your response to that. And I still
Yeah.
have another response within
Yeah.
as well, and I kind of feel like both are true,
Yeah.
So
Yeah, exactly. And there is no right or wrong. And I think that exploration is the most important thing. And sometimes we have to validate, the arguments that come inside ourselves until they are no longer there or they exhaust themselves, so we can actually rest into that piece of not doing anything. Because I don't think we should like just hear it or read it in a book, or even someone that we trust, if they say it, like, if it doesn't really come from us, we're not really going to be able to rest into it. So it is good to explore it in whatever way you can. I think like through conversation with people is good. I think it's a great way to explore things, and in whatever other ways that we can explore, until that kind of, because it's a kind of a conflict, isn't it? In a way, when you can't just, a part of us gives an argument for something. And it's okay. It's not that it's wrong. It's like, it's part of, like, in my creative writing course, the teacher's always saying, like, there's no story without conflict. And in a way, it is like that. Like, there's no story of life without conflict. And in life, the conflict is just within ourselves.
Yeah, the response I have doesn't feel like it is actually really an argument now. Like there was an argument, but it's actually just a sort of like, yes, that's true. And also that I feel sometimes in order to help to facilitate the, like, this is the thought that I have, is that to facilitate the creating of that foundation of being able to rest in your quiet place or in your being, and in the witness
Yeah.
of it, that create some, you know, having techniques to create that space can maybe facilitate that process. So then you it does become easier to rest in that place even when
Yeah.
things are going on.
Yeah.
That's the process, maybe, you know.
Yeah. That's definitely true. It's like the basis of all spiritual practice. Like most spiritual practices are for that, you know,
Yeah.
like chanting a mantra, or even many like meditation techniques and all are really for that, like creating that space so that we will notice that effortlessness inside us. But I guess in a way it's kind of, I don't know, this is always my way. I'm just kind of drawn to like that directness. Like, and that like you can actually just like notice it even in the midst of madness. But we all have different ways as well. And of course, it's good to calm the system down if we feel like it. Is that true? Whatever practices.
I'm a huge fan of practice,
Yeah.
and maybe we'll get to practice next week.
Yeah. I'm an avid not liker of practice because I'm so undisciplined. I'm the most undisciplined person. I can't practice things consistently ever. That's why I have to go straight to the end. Even I remember when I was younger, I used to just skip to the last page of the book. I wanted to know what happened straight away. And then I'd go back to the start and read the story and mind knowing what happened at the end. Anyway, I really better go because I need to go. So thank you both. Thank you for your presence. I appreciate both of you, and thank you for speaking. I really liked hearing. And I'd love to explore with you more endlessly. I'd be happy to explore with you.
Cheers. Thank you.